Well, actually, I have the pleasure of this being my second time evaluating.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Great.
And this time I have the pleasure of evaluating Lisa. Lisa, I really enjoyed your presentation. I enjoyed all of your presentations that I've seen before, but this one was another really good one. It had a clear purpose. Lisa was doing Project 8, which was getting to use the visual aids and incorporate them in her speech and use them effectively. So a lot of the goals for the presentation were using them, they were effective, the audience could see them, and so that's a great place to start. I thought your slides were great. They're simple, large pictures in the back of the room. I could capture all the colors, they were vibrant, and then some of the smaller details even where you, including like having text on the screen to describe what the picture was small, but it was great in that, not small in size, but it was white text on black background with a sans serif font that doesn't have like the little ticks on the, so that's like really good for the audience, the white on black in particular, and I could read that just fine. And then a couple of them, sometimes there were two pictures on one that I was like, oh, well, maybe it could be one on a complete one, but it was still large enough that I could see. The only one that in my mind, I was in the back wondering was the lightning bolt with all the donors, and I was like, what are those little squares? But it actually had me engaged in the back, and you did a really good job of taking your time explaining that story and letting the audience know you didn't jump to the next slide, leaving us wanting more, like, oh, what were those little squares you told us? So that you did a really good job with that. A small thing, which in the end you end up like tying it back in, so I felt I got the clear purpose, which was appreciating street art more than just walking by it and not really looking at it in depth. In the middle, maybe I got lost on that a little bit, but as I reflected back on it too, each of your individual stories, I still reflected back and got that impression of what's important, like taking the time of explaining what this alleyway means or why this is painted a certain way. And so that leads to another compliment I have, which you took your time on each slide, rather than, that was something that you had specifically asked to look for maybe before when you had done a visual aids. You had gone through it a little quickly. This time I felt you did take a really nice time on each one. You let the audience soak it in, and you gave us detail. You didn't just show us something and then go to the next one. We got a story with each slide, so I thought that was really good. You had asked about vocal projection because you're soft-spoken. I could hear you in the back. There is the opportunity to emote a little bit more and vocal variety as well. But as far as just strict volume, I could hear you, so that was good. And then something else to keep working on would be the body language. So you were pretty well planted the whole time. It was appropriate body language, but there could be more emotive gestures, like you could imagine like the scale of the painting, or this is how tall it was compared to me, maybe enrapture us a little bit more. And I really caution to suggest pointing at the screen, because I know that's kind of a no-no, that you can turn your body away from the audience, but maybe there's ways you can creatively use body language to point out specific parts of your pictures. So overall, really great.